All right. Well, how does she plan on keeping the American economy the strongest in the world? Well, with price controls on food and medicine, as well as raising the corporate tax rate to 28%. I'm sure that will create new jobs. Oh, and she also endorsed a plan to tax unrealized capital gains, which would be an absolute disaster and completely discourage investment in practically anything. So joining me now to talk about all of this is Executive Vice President at the National Taxpayers Union, Brandon Arnold. Brandon, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me, Amanda.
All right, I got to start with the price controls because, listen, I grew up in this country. Fortunately, I have never had to experience anything remotely resembling socialism as far as the economic policies of this country in other countries, and I'm pretty sure this is how it starts.
Yeah, I mean, we all can think back to the early 80s when we saw pictures of USSR grocery stores with completely empty shelves. That's kind of the vision that we see here. When you impose price controls, all you do is reduce the availability of products. You create shortages. Any economist can tell you that, whether they're on the left or the right or in the center. And that's why a lot of newspapers, even left-leaning newspapers like the Washington Post, responded by saying, I don't know, Kamala, I don't think this is the direction that we really want to go. I get that inflation is a huge problem. It's the number one economic problem facing Americans right now. But the solution is just completely wrong here. Price controls don't work. They've never worked, and they never will work.
Well, and, you know, a large portion of what, especially like what the Obamas were saying on the stage a few nights ago, is about American greed and corporate greed and people taking more than what they need. But within the grocery store sector, the profit margins are very small. They're between 1% and 2%. So it's not like grocery stores are making a ton of money. They're not jacking up the prices of eggs just for the fun of it. It is an inflation issue. It's a supply chain issue. All of this goes back to their economic policy.
Yeah, I mean, grocery stores, like you said, profit margins are very, very small. It is a very competitive marketplace. Most areas, you see a grocery store on one corner across the street or just down the block. There's another grocery store. So absent collusion, absent a few random anecdotes here and there just isn't major markups in the grocery store industry. They can't afford to mark up because they'll lose all that business to their competitor. So this is one of those areas where I get it because people are really annoyed with the prices that they're seeing at their grocery store. But those prices aren't being driven by greed. They're being driven by all of those up-chain costs that have risen, labor costs going up, energy costs going up, the cost of bringing food and manufactured foods to market is just more expensive than it used to be. And a lot of that reason, of course, is because we haven't fixed our supply chains. We haven't implemented the kinds of regulatory and tax policies that this administration ought to have been working on to help improve inflation, lower prices, and make it more affordable to buy a cart of groceries.
Yeah. Brandon, I look to you for a lot of answers on tax-related things. So I want to ask you to explain to our audience the notion of taxes on unrealized gains, because the economy is so bad right now. I don't think that Americans are really able to invest as much as they would like. But if you have someone who, you know, they are doing well and they throw, you know, $10,000 into an investment, and that investment surges $500, they pay a tax on that $500. Even if they don't sell it, it's just sitting around, it's just an investment. If that investment goes back down, if there's some type of a plunge for that asset or that stock, do they get a refund from the government?
Yeah, typically no. Typically this is a ratchet effect, so you end up paying taxes when products go up in value. Again, like you said, even if you don't sell that, traditionally, the way our country has worked at the federal level, you don't pay taxes on unrealized gains, period, whether it's your house, an antique that you might own, a baseball card collection. If that appreciates in value, good for you. You have that additional wealth on paper, but it's not until that time where you sell the product and you realize a gain that you have to pay taxes, either income taxes or capital gains taxes, depending on how long you've held that product. So this would completely change that, turn it on its head. Listen, this isn't a new idea. It's been tried in other parts of the world. In Europe, we had a number of countries try it, and 75% of the countries that tried it ended up scrapping it because it was so administratively difficult for their tax collection agencies to handle. It was an absolute mess. They spent a lot more money trying to go after millionaires and assess the value of fancy wine collections or antiques or or antique cars, old cars. They spent more time doing all of that than they did in terms of collecting money and helping to pad their coffers.
Yeah, I simply don't understand this country's politicians' obsession with trying policies that failed elsewhere. It strains credulity. Before we let you go, though, the corporate tax rate going from 21% to what she proposes at 28%, what type of effect would that have on the job market?
Yeah, I mean, economists know this. When you raise the corporate rate, here's what happens. Companies have to pay more to get that additional revenue to send to the federal government. They either reduce the pay of workers, which is really bad news, especially at a time when many people are having trouble keeping afloat in this economy, or they raise prices. Again, that's going to be an inflationary impact on the economy. Either way, or a combination of the two, workers and consumers are getting hosed. We are sending more money to the Treasury, and we're also encouraging companies to relocate. So many countries across the globe have lowered their corporate tax rate to attract business, to attract capital and jobs. If we move in the opposite direction, we're just going to see the next major company being founded on a foreign soil instead of here in the United States. It's really bad policy all the way around.
Yeah, or as we've seen in the fast food space, you just get replaced by a kiosk, because guess what? Kiosks don't take smoke breaks. They don't call in sick to work. They don't have boyfriend and girlfriend drama. So it's a lot better to just deal with a machine instead of having to pay a corporate tax rate and hire more employees. Brandon Arnold, Executive Vice President at the National Taxpayers Union, thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Thanks for having me.